Welcome to the Hardcore Closer podcast. I'm Ryan Stewman, founder of HardcoreCloser.com, and this podcast is all about helping you, the salesperson, close more sales. And look, whether you're selling cars, homes, financial services, consulting, whatever it is that you sell, this podcast is dedicated to help you generate higher quality leads, increase your closing ratios, and show you how to charge premium fees for the items you sell so you can get paid what you're worth. Welcome to episode 56 of the THC podcast, and I'm glad you're here. Look, if you're a first-timer, be sure to check out the previous episodes. There's at least 55. And if you've been here before, do me a favor. Head over to, I know it's a pain in the ass, I really do, but head over to the podcast app on your iPhone and leave me a review. Search for the THC podcast. Go through there and leave a review. I know there's a lot of people out there that buy reviews. I know that there's a lot of people out there that bribe people with reviews. But I think that if you believe in the content of this show, if you believe in it enough, then why wouldn't you want to go over there and leave a review so that another salesperson might stumble across this show and get their life changed as well? Because after all, that's my goal, is to affect the lives of 300 million salespeople. And having this podcast, whether you're listening to it on YouTube, just hit the thumbs up or leave me a comment. If you're listening to it on your podcast icon, man, hit the go ahead and leave me a 5-star review. Wherever you're hearing this, on SoundCloud, wherever it is, just make sure that you're leaving some sort of feedback so that we can get more exposure on this. So I have the opportunity to change more people's mind, because you know how it is. When you change people's mind, you change your life. And so if it's your first time here, go check out the other episodes. But just know that if you come back, I'm going to ask you for reviews every single time. It's kind of my duty. I feel like it's my civic duty as a podcast host to ask you for your review. Kind of like Kyle2844 right here. 5 stars. Thanks. Shout out to Kyle2844. October 8, 2016 says, just started listening to Ryan's podcast. So at this point, Kyle's been listening for a while. This is very captivating and great motivator for someone like me, 25-year-old guy looking for energy to create a great life for myself and add value to others. Thanks, Ryan. Well, that's a very political review there. Create a great life for myself and add values to others. That's what I'm talking about. That's what sales is really all about, though, right? Helping other people out while helping yourself get paid. And here's the thing, speaking of sales, like the way that sales operates is changing. We're going to talk about that in today's episode here in a couple of minutes. But I want you to know that the way that sales is changed, like the way that sales go down, the way that sales take place is changing. These days, the close is simply the grand finale in a series of smaller sales and agreements along the way. And if you're not practicing your craft, and your craft isn't just how good you are at talking on the phone, it's how good you are at texting, how good you are at emails, how well you are at database management, how good you are at communicating with websites and using videos and lead traps and capture technology and follow-up and robots. That is the future of sales. As a matter of fact, it's not even the future of sales. That is the current state of sales. Sales is no more just guys that can pick up the phone and make cold calls. Sure, they still exist. Sure, that still works, but it's evolved. Those folks that are the guys that can and the gals that can just pick up the phone and cold call, God bless them, but that's Neanderthal stuff in a world of technology. And so I want you to understand, if you want to embrace this, because look, it's like Bugs Bunny says, if you can't beat them, join them. So if you want to join a movement that's not stopping, there's more and more social networks popping up every day. There's new ways to communicate with people on a daily basis. We've got live video. The next thing is going to be teleport transportation, right? You're going to be able to teleport somewhere. And really what I would do is I would sit one of those teleport things on top of my coffee table, and then the other side of it, like in the refrigerator area, so that I could just like reach my hand through the coffee table thing, and then it would come out the other side by the refrigerator, and I could grab myself a drink. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, so got a little sidetrack there. But all this is going down. You can't change it. You might as well embrace it. And I want to help you learn it. Because look, I've been displaced before. And listen, this week alone in Adweek's magazine, I subscribe to Adweek, they mentioned that your job is in serious jeopardy because of artificial intelligence. In Inc. magazine, the one with Ivanka Trump on the cover, which is last month's edition, they said that artificial intelligence will replace millions of jobs in the next decade. You might as well be on the good side of artificial intelligence, right? I'd rather be the person that invented the Terminator than the person that's running scared from those bastards, because they're fucking invincible. I just watched that the other night. So what I'm saying is you need to join us in the best mastermind that has ever been created, paired with the best online academy that you can find for modern day sales training. And you can go over to breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. I'm in there every day masterminding. Matter of fact, tonight, we're doing night school, which means I'm going to teach people about an inside scoop on how I'm getting thousands of likes per post on Instagram organically. I'm going to teach people these things because when you get thousands of likes, it's not about, oh, look, I got a lot of likes. It's, hey, those are people that you're getting in front of that send you direct messages, which is an inbound lead, which allows you to go through the sales conversation. And if you're good and if you're part of the entourage, you'll learn how to even automate that part. So go over to breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. Now let's jump into the episode here. Today, we're going to talk about 5 ways to take the cold, the freezing part out of cold calling. And first of all, cold calling these days is, picking up the phone and reaching out to a complete stranger that has no idea who you are, what your brand is, what you represent, or why in the hell you even have them on the phone. There was a guy in our Sales Talk with Sales Pro group, and he was relaying his sales script for his cold calls in the group. And what he said on the call was really odd to me because he said, hey, the script goes something like this. Hey, this is Ryan Stewman. This is a cold call from Hardcore Closer. And I'd like to ask you if you have a few minutes to answer 4 or 5 questions for me. And I thought that it was odd that he would tell somebody that it's a cold call, because here's the thing. That's a bold step because, there's a video out there floating around on the internet with Gary Vaynerchuk where he asked a room full of people, he says, who in here likes getting calls from strangers? And like nobody raised their hand. Or maybe he said, who in here hates getting calls from stranger? And the whole room raised their hand. It's one of the two. I can't remember at this point. Either way, he boldly proved that people don't like talking to folks. I got a DM on Instagram yesterday, and I think from Ronnie, and he sent it over to me, and it was a screenshot of Twitter, and it said the friend zone levels, like number 4, we travel together. Number 3, I send text to you. Number 2, we're roommates. Number 1, I talked to you on the phone. And she was like, and then people were retweeting it. It had like 20,000 retweets, and people were saying, yeah, I never talked to anybody on the phone. The next generation, they're not going to be, how are you going to cold call people that don't have landlines? Think about that for a second. Within a decade, the millennials will come up. They'll be my age, 35. I'm 37, but they'll be, let's say, 35. And these millennials, they don't have landlines. I haven't had a I'm like on the cusp of being a millennial, and I haven't had a landline since 2005. Holy shit. No, it's been since 2005 since I've had a landline. And I can't believe it's been that long. So I don't know any reason why you would get one. My home security system is wireless. My internet is wireless. Like, I don't know why you would need a landline for anything. Even when we move into our new office space, which we did get some Break Free Academy headquarters. That's pretty cool. More on that later. But when we move over there, I'm not going to get the phone in our bed. What the hell do I want the phone for? All I need is the internet, baby. And I got a cell phone with unlimited minutes. So if someone wants to talk to me, they can just call me direct if they got my number. Anyway, so back to the cold calling thing here. So cold calling's going away. Whether you like to admit it or not, it is what it is. Cold calling it's an archaic Neanderthal way to do sales. Does it still work? Absolutely. But is it efficient? No. But if you're going to insist on doing it anyway, at least let me make it easier for you. How about that? Right? I'm going to be nice to the community. Even though I am totally against the idea of cold calling someone, I'm going to help you change what would be a cold call into a warm call. First off, do not tell people that it is a cold call. Never start your script with, hey, this is a cold call, because that is immediately, it's like, hey, this is the tax collector. Fuck, there's all sorts of anxiety and shit. This person's on my nerves. Don't do that, okay? The first way to take the cold out of cold calling is through email. So before you cold call someone, why not send them an email first? Now you might say, well, I don't know their email. Do a little research there, you lazy fuck. Really, like if that's like you can't find someone's email in 2017, like holy shit, man. There's like only 1,000,001 fucking services out there. If you go to their website and you notice that their format is like, if you go and you find 4 or 5 contact me forms on their website with emails, you notice their format's Ryan@hardcorecloser.com, Travis@hardcorecloser.com, Lindsay@hardcorecloser.com, and you're looking to get in touch with the CEO. Chances are, whatever the CEO's first name at the company domain is going to be their email. Right? That's if you can't get, most places you can find people's email. You can get it from LinkedIn. You can get it just by searching. Like if you were to search what's Ryan Stewman's email, I'm sure Google would pull the shit up. If you were to search if you have an E-Trade account, you can get the CEO's emails because you're an investor in the company. So if you bought like 4 or 5 shares of Procter & Gamble and you want to talk to the CEO, it gives you the contact list of the people that are CEOs. So you could go spend $100 on stock. You'd still have the asset. And then you can also contact the CEO through email. But in email, there's a couple steps that you want to take, right? Because an email is a cold call, because if they don't know you, they don't want to know about you. Okay. If they weren't actively searching for you and they don't know who you are, it's a cold call, but it's going down via email. But we're going to use an email to warm them up. Matter of fact, we're going to use a series of 3 emails. Okay. Most salespeople try to rush, right? If we were dating someone via email, most salespeople are like, hey, babe, you want to fuck? Oh, you just want to suck dick? That's okay. Right? Like, that's the way that most salespeople act via email. It's like, hey, man, you want to jump into bed and, buy a bunch of shit from me? And that's not how it works. You're going to need 3 emails. We call this the indoctrination sequence. You're going to need to indoctrinate somebody and get them to know you, because here's how you convert from cold to warm. They say if a person sees you, your name, or your brand 8 to 12 times, there becomes a familiarity, a sense of familiarity. So they've seen you, they recognize you, they know where you are. That's why traveling and retargeting somebody on the internet is so important. And so if you email them 3 times, chances are they've seen it, they've opened it, and they read it. We could count that as 3 points of familiarity. You send out 3 emails, there's your entire 12 points of familiarity. If they click, that might be another point that we could reward them. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to build those 12 points of familiarity up, so that when we do call them, the good news is they'll feel like they are familiar with us and say something to the tune of, oh yeah, man, I really dig your emails. First, even if you sell something boring, we got to make it exciting. But we got to talk about benefits. We're not going to talk about your product or any of that stuff. We're going to talk about benefits. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to get them to open the email. That's a sell in itself. And so that works with the subject line, treating it like a headline. So let's say you sell mortgages and you're trying to get in touch with the hottest real estate agent in the area. The subject line that you might send out to them is like, I'm overwhelmed with leads. Could you take a load off of my shoulders? Right? That gives a sense of, I've got something you're looking for. We know real estate agents love leads. And if you're a loan officer trying to reach out to them and you're like, I've got more leads than I can handle, can you help me? That's something that's going to open up, because they're like, dude, this smells like money. I'm all about this money. And so then you get them to open it, and then you tell them about your problem and how maybe it can help them solve a problem they have. In other words, you're not asking for the business yet, right? We've sold them on opening it. So we say in this instance, we're like, hey, I have more leads than I can handle. Can you help me? So when they open, it's like, hey, a few months ago, I opened up a funnel. It got flooded with leads. I have 2 other real estates helping me, but they're overwhelmed with leads as well. They've already closed 5 or 6 loans apiece from it in the last 60 days. I would like to offer you an extension of this to where we can send the overflow leads your way if you're open to working them. Is that okay with you? Then you get a reply to the email. Hell yeah, I'll take some leads. Okay, the second email that you need. So we address the situation that you're in and how it can benefit them. We didn't talk about your product, no mortgages, none of that shit. The second email, it indoctrinates them further. You're going to send them. So the first one, they're like, hell yeah, I'll send some leads. The second one is, okay, I have a very specific process that we put these leads through. Here are the 5 steps. Does this sound like it makes sense to you, right? Get them to reply again. Right? You list out the 5 steps that they go through, or maybe the 6 magic questions, what other neighborhoods, what time frame, what price range, do you need to sell the house you live in now? Have you been pre-approved for a mortgage? And do you have a real estate agent? You might have all of that listed out for them, right? Like, here's the questions that we ask every single person. I need you to follow this process. Get a reply from them. On the third email, it's like, okay, cool. We'll get you set up on our email leads list. Here's what happens next. If you have people coming into yours that need to get pre-approved for a mortgage, by all means, I want to be your priority and go-to guy. We should be exchanging leads, not just having a one-way relationship. At that point, there might have been 3 or 4 or 5, 6 days even that have passed between the email exchange. And so when you do reach out to them via phone call, they're going to be super familiar with who you are, and they're going to be excited to talk to you because they think that you come bearing leads, which ultimately equals money. So I got to love the green juice. Gentlemen, if you do not drink green juice every day, you're totally missing out, especially if you're a steak and potatoes type of person. Green juice will change your life. So number 2, you could send them a video. So let's pair those emails up with videos. And so here's the thing about video. Video is the most important, the most influential way to to get in front of an audience ever, because all of our lives we've been sat in front of a TV, and the person that was the adult or whatever is like, hey, whoever's on TV is important. When you move to a new area, the first thing you do is you go to get news from the TV. You go to get information from authorities and everything else. So video is huge. So if you send somebody a video, that is instantly demonstrating your ability to be an authority in their eyes. And people watch videos, right? Facebook is the king of video right now, just by the way. So you could send somebody a video through Instagram. You can send them video through Facebook, even through email. You can upload it to YouTube and then shoot the link from that. So video is a very powerful way to get in front of people, because like I said, people have been programmed their entire life that whoever's on video is important. So you get to leverage that in your favor, but you've got to make them interesting, and you've got to follow the same indoctrination process. It's like, hey, if I was to make a video, it's like, hey, I'm Ryan Stewman. I've been a loan officer here for 15 years, and I run some websites that generate leads. My problem is that we have more leads than we can handle. So I'm looking for real estate agents like you who can step in, take a few of these leads off of our hand, and just simply contact them. And if they need to list or see a house, we just ask that you'd be their go-to resource and manage them for us. Does that sound fair to you? If so, then simply fill out the form below this video, and I'll be in touch to explain our 5-step qualification process so that you can better manage the leads as they come your way. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Something of that nature is huge, especially if you're good on video. Even if you suck on video, it's okay. The way to get good on video is just to do more videos. If you suck, the way to get better is just to do more. I've done 1,500 videos. People say, hey, Ryan, how do you get so good at videos? I've fucking done 1,500 of them. Probably more than that. It's 1,500 on YouTube. There's probably more than that, counting all the other different places we've posted videos and Facebook live streams and all that other good stuff. So number 3, social media. It's huge, huge, huge with tiny hands. Huge. Now, social media, there's 2.5 billion snaps a day. There's 3 times that Instagram stories each day. Facebook, there is over 1 billion active users each and every day. Instagram, there's over 640 million active users every single day. Twitter has over 200 million. LinkedIn has over 150 million. I mean, there is a ton. Your prospects are on there. And here's the thing. If you know how to do social media correctly and you make it about them and not you, if you learn how to do that correctly and you reach out to them and make it about them, it will end up being about you. Well, your paycheck, at least. So social media is a funny thing, though. It's really turned people narcissistic. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that, people take a lot of selfies and all this other stuff. And so that's like signs that they're really into themselves. While that is totally okay, it gives you the ability to play to it psychologically. You get to go to somebody's profile. You're trying to get in touch with the CEO of a company. You get to go to the CEO of the company's profile, simply send them, look on their wall and then send them a direct message like, hey, I saw that you were at the zoo. How awesome is that? I was thinking about taking my kids over there as well. Did they enjoy it, or do you wish that you would have went somewhere else? And strike up that conversation, let them know that you're paying attention to them and you care about them. Again, don't just go in for the kill. That's some dumbass shit that cold call people do. We're converting. When you do call, we're converting those calls from cold calls into warm receptions. That's the catch. That's the key to what we're doing here. So I want you to think of it that way. Social media is a great way, because social media people are followers and connections and friends. I mean, when I was growing up, the connection was the guy with all the drugs, dude. So that's got a way great positive reinforcement subliminally in the back of my mind. And I know many of you do as well. You're like, yo, that's the connect. Nowadays, they call it the plug. That's what we need to do, salespeople. We need to create a social media where it's like, these are my plugs, right? Right here, this is the plug. So back to social media. The thing is, it gives you an ability to be friends with people and be their follower, and they follow you, and they're your fans, and all these different things, these different terminology that is very NLP user friendly that we use for them. You get to leverage it in your behalf. It's like, hey, it's when you call them, it's like, hey, it's your friend from Facebook. The word that sticks out in their mind is, hey, it's your friend. Hey, it's your friend Ryan from Facebook. All right. People just hear the word friend. And these days, a lot of people take virtual relationships as serious as real life relationships. I know that I do. So number 4, this is my favorite. But this ain't no broke ass person's play right here. I'm just going to tell you. But this shit works. The best thing you can do is send a gift in the mail. So if someone is the CEO of a big company and you're going to cold call them, the best thing you can do is take your happy ass over to Amazon, Buy a book that is the number one seller in their industry, that's something that's totally relevant to them that they'll most likely want to read. Because here's the thing, readers are leaders, and CEOs read. CMOs, CFOs, HR people, they all read. They want to be better. Leadership, management people, they all read. They want to be better. And so what you need to do is go to Amazon. You can get the company's address. You go to Amazon, you send them that book. It's $10, maybe $15. You send them the book in the mail with a note attached, which you can do through Amazon, and you just write a simple note. It's like, hey, I thought you really enjoyed this book. I'm into helping people. I see that you're a great leader in the industry, so I got a book on leadership for you to help you even further your career. Should you have any questions about this, or if you want to mastermind or talk about some of the things you learn, I'd be open to meeting you for lunch. Then when you call them a week later and you're like, hey, man, I just wanted to follow up, make sure you got my book in the mail. That changes it from a cold call to, hey, I just want to make sure you got my gift. So it allows you to really go in with that law of reciprocity. And it doesn't have to be a book. It could be consumables. It could be a consumables. It could be popcorn. You could send them popcorn or a piece of candy, something that they ate and ingest. It could be DVDs that you send them. It could be something physical, a USB with some pictures or whatever on it. But don't make it pictures about your business and shit. Make it pictures about something that they would actually be interested in. Number 5, and last but not least, advertising. Advertising is the easiest way to get somebody to, like, here's what you can do. Okay, this is really sneaky. This works on Google and it works on Facebook, you dig? You can, now, I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just saying you can do it. You dig what I'm saying? So don't go do this and get kicked off of Facebook or Google and be like, Stewman told me to do it and get all bent out of shape. I'm telling you, don't do this, but you have an option. Okay, we clear on that? I wouldn't take any advice from me on this subject, but I'm still going to explain it. Let's just put it that way. So you can go and you can scrape you a list. You can actually go to a virtual assistant site, and for about $100, you can pay them to scrape about 2,000 email addresses from some of the sites that you need. You can even find a site where you can look up people's email addresses, and you can have the VA scrape, the virtual assistant scrape the website, the address, and upload it into an Excel spreadsheet. You can then take those emails and upload them to Facebook or Google, and then you can run an ad directly advertising to those people. Now, you need at least 1,000 people before you can do this. So that's why you hire a virtual assistant and you don't do it yourself. You just pay somebody else $50 to $100 to copy and paste all this stuff. And so from there, your next step is you upload them in as custom audiences, and you run an ad to the 200 people that you want to, or the 2,000 people that you want to do business with. And guess what? They get to see your advertising everywhere, so that when you call them, you're like, hey, they're familiar with you. You're like, hey, yo, what's up? It's me from the ad you keep seeing everywhere. They're familiar with you, and they're more receptive. They're like, man, I see your ads everywhere. How are you doing that? It's like, hey, that's one of the things that I can help you with. So let's recap real quick. Number 1, email. The 3 indoctrination email sequence to get the 12 touches is going to be key. Number 2, video, the most influensive way to communicate with another human being. Leverage that to the fullest extent of your ability. Number 3, social media, billions upon billions, racks on racks on racks on racks. Man, there is just tons of people and actions going on social media every day. It's easier to do some social recon and reach out to somebody on social media than it is to do anything else in this entire list. Number 4, my favorite, send a gift in the mail. The law of reciprocity is strong with this one. Number 5, don't be a lazy ass. Hire you a VA to set you up with the list. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't hire a VA to set you up with the list and then run an ad to it and establish yourself that way. That's the most risky. Number 4 is going to be your best bet if you got a few bucks, in my opinion. So here's the thing. Make sure you go over to elevatortothetop.com and grab a free copy of my paperback books, bestseller. That thing, we have just a few more copies left before we end that promotion, so you better get over there and grab it. Now, I'm serious. Get your ass into the Break Free Academy entourage. I will help you. I know how to help you. I got experience. If you're not making 6 figures a month, get your ass over there. Let me help you fucking get there. Let me show you the way. I'm not going to do it for you, and I don't have a magic bullet, but damn it, we'll pick up the boat and row together. You dig what I'm saying? So get over there, breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. And by the way, last thing, I now own an alarm company, And you can go to yourfreealarm.com and you can get signed up. You can even become a referral partner and affiliate of our business, where we'll actually send you some money for the referrals you send our way in close. You can go over to yourfreealarm.com and you can check all of that out. Thanks for listening. Make sure you share this. Make sure you review it. Peace.